NBA business, including NBA contracts. So he could certainly pledge his intention to sign with the Lakers, but do not freak out if you do not hear from Luka contractually until September.
Yeah, and look, the reason it's an August 2nd extension date is because he waited until after the Olympics to sign his previous contract for the Mavericks, even though that deal was a mere formality. He was asked at his exit interviews that year about, hey, what do you think of maybe signing that Supermax? And he laughed and said, you know what I'm going to do. This is not a mere formality. This is the first time that Luka Doncic has really had a decision to make in terms of the contract. There is no Supermax eligibility. That blew up when the Mavericks shanked him in the back and shipped him to L.A. That's just a simple fact of the matter. And look.
One way to put it.
It's the honest way to put it. It's certainly the way that he felt about it. This will be an indication of what kind of faith that Luka Doncic has in that Lakers front office. And again, it's not about when it's signed. If he wants to wait until after Eurobasket, that's fine. But if it's not signed heading into the season, that will loom like a black cloud over the Lakers this season.
Because anytime there would be a 3-game losing streak, it already would be the lead of our show or SportsCenter, but it would come under even more scrutiny if it's, well, what is this going to mean for Luka's future, Mark?
Yeah, no, I was around when KD was going through that every day.
Which time?
Well, the Golden State thing. But with Luka, this is kind of like a cool European tour right now. He's in great shape. He's changed his diet. He's obviously in Slovenia getting ready for the national team, but he was just in Greece.
That looks like a good time.
Hanging out with Jordan. I'm sure the turn-up was outstanding in Athens, Greece. And then,
Did you say the turn out or the turn up?
The turn up.
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Trae Young wasn't there. He's in summer league trying to get his contract situation together. Another thing to look out for. But I think for Luka, who plays August 28th against Poland, in Poland, this is a summer where I think is going to set the tone for the rest of his career.
Can you say a little bit more about that, Tim, in terms of this is the first real contract decision that Luka's had to make in his career so far?
Right. So, look, coming off of his rookie deal, like guys sign rookie extensions. Do you want to take a Supermax or do you want to take a qualifying offer or, go into restricted free agency? That's not a difficult decision. Now, there was a time in Dallas specifically, especially coming off that season when they had a tank to keep the top 10 protected pick, when you felt like, uh-oh, could this reach a danger zone? But it didn't. They made several moves. The chemistry clicked with Kyrie. They went to the finals, and Luka couldn't wait to sign the Supermax contract this summer. Obviously, circumstances changed drastically, but hey, the Lakers are, they're trying to make it his team, but he did not grow up with this franchise. Again, they don't have the massive financial advantages of saying, hey, we can pay you hundreds of millions, 9 figures more than anybody else. So this will be the first time in Luka's career where it wasn't really an obvious
foregone
decision.
conclusion.
But is he a saint in all this? I know you said the Mavericks stabbed him in the back, but does he have to be accountable for anything that led to the trade?
I think he has to be accountable for 34-10-9 and taking a team in the finals the months before.
That's not what I asked.
Luka's
is he a saint?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
No, Luka's conditioning has been a problem throughout the course of his career. He's clearly doing something about that this summer. The Revenge Bod tour is on. There's no question about that. Look, Luka's not a saint, but again, the man took him to the finals months before. But forget that. That business is done. Let's focus on the business that Luka has in front of him this summer.
I don't think it's time to litigate sainthood, but it is time to litigate a contract here for Luka Doncic. And the Lakers clearly want him to be their next face of a franchise. And by the way, nobody is saying that he is not going to sign this contract. We're just talking about the date in which it could be signed. He does have a decision to make, Brian. But can you just map out what it looks like? Let's say he doesn't sign a contract going into the season. Can you just map that out for us?
Well, there's 3 max contracts that NBA players, superstars, can sign. One that's worth 25% of the cap, 30% and 35%. Depends on years of service. The first one I call the fun max because almost everybody who's offered it signs it. It's no big deal, like Bontemps discussed. Like McMahon discussed a minute ago. Then there's the stress max. This happens when it's a player's second max contract. This is when players sometimes leave or are not really worth it. This is the stress max right now for Luka. The Lakers are a little bit stressed out about it. Then there's the legacy max. When you get the 35%, you're home free. Everything's going to be great. This is the stress max situation. So if he signs it, relief for the Lakers. They can spend a little bit of time looking at their roster over the next 2 or 3 years, making decisions that are not based on what's going to be best for us tomorrow. What are we going to present to Luka in 2026? We can think about what the team looks like in 27, 28, etc. If he doesn't sign it, he can be a free agent next summer when there's going to be 10 plus teams with cap space. If he does not sign it, you will see teams begin to open up maneuvers to try to chase Luka. And every day that will go by when there's any sort of wobble with the Lakers, you mentioned a losing streak, or if they're in 7th place on December 5th or something like that, everything will be tied to the Luka contract, especially with LeBron on the last year of his contract as well. So the Lakers don't want that in their lives. They want the no stress max. That's what they're going to try to present to him on August 2nd.
Yeah, pick your fighter. That is what you pick your own adventure here. That's what we could be up for here with
to St. Thomas.
I'm going to go to Africa. See, we're going to take a little trip here. Get your trips in too. We've still got plenty of questions that remain unanswered. And I think that calls for a new edition of Tower of Power.
Oh.
The Kilo deal was so powerful.
That sounds like a job for Wendy's Tower of Power.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm calling the ball. Number 5, 4, 3, 2. Number 1.
I say it in a voice, Tower of Power.
Tower of Power. Starring Brian Windhorst.
Malika, I heard McMahon's going to Puerto Vallarta. He'll tell you all about it. All right, the 5 biggest questions. Number 5, the Warriors, will they take care of the rest of their business? I know some of their fans are frustrated at their lack of activity, but they could end up with 3 of the most significant free agents left on the board. Now, Jonathan Kuminga, restricted free agent, that's obviously a tension-filled situation, but there's a possibility they could get something done with him. And then there's Al Horford, who's probably the best veteran free agent on the market. He is lined up potentially to sign with the Warriors, and don't be surprised if they can get DeAnthony Melton back, a guy they traded last year after he had a knee injury.
Wait, Brian.
And number 4,
dispatch from Kendrick Perkins. Will the Warriors finish business? I believe on this show there's another way that we could frame what you do with business.
Stand on business. Stand on business.
All right,
Sorry.
number 4, please continue.
Sorry, all right. Number 4, don't forget about De'Aaron Fox. Remember, he's got a big contract situation with the Spurs. They traded 3 first-round picks for him last year at the trade deadline, and you know they did that thinking they were going to get him under contract. Now, he cannot extend on a new deal until August 3rd, so it would come after that. They can give him up to $230 million over the next 4 years, adding to the deal, the 1 year he's got now. Will they be able to give him for less than that, or will they give him the full max? That's something that we're going to definitely keep an eye on. At number 3, the buyout we've been waiting for longer than any other buyout, and that's Bradley Beal from the Phoenix Suns. I mean, the idea that you would buy out $200 million players in the same summer with him and Damian Lillard is something I never thought I would ever see, but it's coming a little bit normalized. Beal would have a lot of suitors if he gets to the open market. He's going to have to take at least $14 million less for the buyout to be legal, which means he's going to want to recoup that money. The Clippers are a team that you would think would be a strong candidate for him. Eventually, I think that's going to get done, but I've been saying that for a week and a half. All right, and then we got a couple of extensions to pay attention to. Kevin Durant, he got traded to the Houston Rockets, in case you forgot. That was a huge deal, arguably the biggest move of the summer. But Durant has only 1 year left on his contract, and there's a big reason that the Rockets would want to get him locked into a deal that's longer. Now, he can sign for up to 2 years at about $120 million. That's huge money for a guy turning 37 before the start of the regular season. Would they try to find a deal that is for less than that as they try to fit in all their other big contracts? Keep an eye on that.
Can we get a drum roll?
Number 1, the biggest contract extension of the summer. You know who it's going to be. Luka Doncic. Everybody knows from the Lakers camp that August 2nd is the first day that he can sign it. I would not expect it to happen that early. There are various reasons why the timeline could be pushed to September. Don't react negatively, Lakers fans, if you don't see a deal right away. He's playing for the Slovenian national team. Also, it behooves him probably to take a 3-year contract extension. The Lakers can offer 4 and $230, but it makes sense for him to take a 3-year extension for various long-term reasons. But anything that he would sign would be terrific for the Lakers. They're going to obviously make that their offseason priority.
This is important. Can you just underscore this for us? You said don't freak out, which, you know, is easier said than done when it comes to all of us NBA fans. Don't freak out if August 2nd comes and goes and you don't see something. Can you just explain?
Yeah, so he's playing for the Slovenian national team at the European Championships, frequently called Eurobasket, which is the most valuable tournament for the Europeans outside the Olympics. And he won the Eurobasket for Slovenia earlier in his career, probably the greatest moment of his career. They played 6 exhibition games leading up to the start on August 27th, and then they could go as late as September 14th, which means he may not be back into the U.S. if the Slovenians get all the way to the end until late